Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another interesting session. The video we are about to analyze is going to change your life for good. If you are a black man, if you are an African, if you are a Cameroonian, this video will change your perspective on reality. Everything about your existence. I encourage you to watch this video from the beginning to the end. Do not miss a minute in this video. I want to let you guys understand that if our race would be preserved, you need to take everything that I'm saying or showing you through this video very serious. There is a saying that the illiterates of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. That indicates that how you do anything is how you do everything. It does matter. Your thinking, how you speak, how you act does matter. It will either pull you up or take you down. So take this video, this message, very serious. I would like us to start with a clip from the movie Black Panther. This clip is going to serve as a backdrop for this conversation and subsequent speakers that are planned to engage in this conversation. Take a watch.
This is your last chance. Throw down your weapons and we can handle this another way.
I lived my entire life waiting for this moment. I trained, I lied, I killed, just to get here. I killed in America, Afghanistan, Iraq. I took life from my own brothers and sisters right here on this continent. And all this death, just so I could kill you.
Let the challenge begin.
I just want to stop right there. And say, if you've watched the movie Black Panther, it's a very interesting film, right? But one thing I do want you to understand, that a movie of this caliber is always produced with intention. There is a message they are passing across. There is a certain mindset that they want you to end up with after watching this movie. So this a young man that the parents or the great-grandparents were sold, right? Came to America as slaves. And then you realize that he's returning back to the continent to take over a position that he believes is truly his. So there was a mineral called vibranium. And if you know about this movie, you will realize that he comes back to prove that he is the rightful heir to that throne, so he can have access to those resources so that the entire black race, about 2 billion around the world, can be able to experience prosperity, because he believes this selfish ruler is not managing those resources well. I just thought I'd throw that in there to engage you in this conversation, because there is a movement around the world right now of black people, regardless of where they are, returning back to Africa so that we can unite. And this idea is also motivated by Pan-Africanism, right? And many people are rallying behind maybe the philosophy of Pan-Africanism, like, okay, we want a continental free trade area. It's a good idea, right? But what is the motivating philosophy behind this idea called Pan-Africanism? I don't want to fast track myself, but I want you to watch this video closely and let's study together.
This is for my father. Zuri, no. Stop! Zuri, don't! I am the cause of your father's death, not him. Take me. I'll take you both, Uncle James. Zuri, no! No! Zuri! Zuri! No! No! Please! Is this your game? Huh? Is this your game? The Black Panther, who's about to lead you into the future. Come on, brother!
Is there nothing that can be done?
Him! He's supposed to protect you. Nah, I'm your king.
We have to go now. Queen Mother, let's go!
Okay, so the African king is killed, his throne taken. We have now a new king that came from the West, or came from America. That is the story. Now, black people have been through a lot around the world. Gone through slavery and slave trade. We've gone through colonialism. There's a lot that has happened with us over a period of time. Now, unity is a good idea. Unity of any kind. I'm for unity. I'm for togetherness. And I want to make that absolutely clear. But what I want you to understand is a rumination is real. And what is rumination? Rumination refers to the act of continuously thinking about the same thoughts, usually negative ones, without finding a resolution. It often associated with overthinking and can lead to increased stress, anxiety, depression, if not managed effectively. Now, there are also related health problems that comes with rumination, like cardiovascular health issues. Every group of people on earth have been slaves at some point, either by their own kind even. Like that is, Asians have captured other Asians as slaves. Africans have captured other Africans at some point in our evolution as slaves. Europeans have captured other Europeans at some point in their evolution as slaves. We are not an exception. Somehow, in this dispensation, some smart intellectuals, those who want equality, those who are for social justice, have picked up these philosophies, and they are motivating us, right? So that we can get to the place where we have this pain in our heart to come together, get economic prosperity, or maybe achieve economic prosperity so that we can be strong, maybe to fight the West someday. This is what returning to Africa will look like. Because this thing, right? The individual who sold the slaves and the individual who bought the slaves are both co-conspirators. Our ancestors sold their people as slaves, not us, our ancestors. I want to establish that premise very well. The ancestors of the Europeans or the white people that you see today bought those slaves. Demand and supply. You know this in basic economics. So the individual who created the market of slaves and the individual who came in and bought those slaves, both of them participated. But if you want to look at the severity of this case, those who sold the slaves, like you will sell the drugs and he will buy the drugs. You cannot excuse the individual who actually sold the drugs and try to blame just the individual who was buying the drugs. You have to look at both. Does this make sense? So my thing is, if you cannot forgive the ancestors of the white folks who bought the slaves, then I don't think that you will have a place in your heart to forgive the individuals who sold the slaves. And mind you, there were blacks in America who owned slaves. There were blacks in the Caribbeans who owned slaves. This is well documented. Slavery is a brutal history of humanity, and it still goes on today in some parts of the world. And I'm saying this to say, this is an experience that we have all gone through as human beings. And in order for us to carve a compelling future, we should be able to forgive, let go, unite the world, and move forward. If you cannot forgive the ancestors of the white folks, because it's not the present white folks that you see today that bought slaves. It was the ancestors of the white folks that you see today that bought slaves. It was not the ancestors of the Africans or black people that you see today that sold slaves. It was the ancestors of the Africans you see today that sold slaves. And if we have to take the sins of our ancestors and punish those we see today as those who perpetuated that crime, then I don't think we will make progress as a people. Like I said, rumination, continuous thinking about a problem, trying to create it, relive it, it will become your reality. We can have an Africa where there is free trade without necessarily coming under the canopy of Pan-Africanism. Is this making sense? Because when I listen to the leaders that are advocating for Pan-Africanism, there is an agenda underneath it. And that is why I'm saying our country, Cameroon, my goal is that we do not be part of this. We carve a different path, look at the best nations around the world, model what they have done to achieve success, and go that path. And not join a group under the name of Pan-Africanism when there is an agenda to come together and probably fight the West someday. What I'm saying through this video is, I want to make it so simple that you don't miss it, so that you don't have any excuse as not to understand what is going on here. Take a listen to this.
Would you like to be president of Nigeria?
Some of us, we need to lead in terms of the trajectory of developing Africa through the business, not through the political leadership.
Are there good investment opportunities for non-Africans in Africa?
Well, there are good opportunities for everybody, and I think there's protection also for everybody.
Beautiful. So you just listened to the most wealthy, you just listened to one of the most wealthy Africans, right? Aliko Dangote, super rich. The question you should be asking yourself is, Dangote has established numerous branches of his company across Africa. Did he do that through Pan-Africanism? The answer is no. He came up with a product and a service that people love so good, every nation will open up their doors for Aliko Dangote. It is this kind of enterprise that brings about sustainable change and sustainable development. And he was being asked by Bloomberg, are you going to run for president someday? He said enterprise, entrepreneurship, building businesses should be the way forward for Africans. That is how you get to change Africa. It's not through power, because this is the thinking. Everything is power, is being in power. The same laws that are affecting those who think they can't start businesses because of the laws in their nation, Dangote has been extremely successful with those laws in place. Because this is the new Africa, this is the new Cameroon that we are building. No excuse. No excuse. And a question that he was further asked was, is there a place for non-Africans to invest, build businesses in Africa? He said yes. When you have your Pan-Africanist movement or meetings, do you see somebody like Aliko Dangote, one of the richest, if not the richest African, do you see him in those meetings? The answer is no. Young people, these are the people you should be listening to, observing their every move and follow them, and not people with theories. Because I'm about to show you where this is leading us to. If we don't open our eyes right now and take action, we can have a free trade in Africa without Pan-Africanism. The African Union is the organization advocating for free trade within the continent. Let that be underscored. All right, if you like this video, you're gonna like this other episode, and you can watch it by clicking right here.